My name is Beth Enslin, and I'm honored to welcome you here tonight. Tonight's topic is perfectly timed to wrap up November as we prepare for Thanksgiving next week. So whether you're catching this live or you're watching us live or catching us on the replay, um, you're going to walk away with some practical tips that you can use right away. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters. So we have Kate Carripio, who's a national board certified health and wellness coach, and Susie Combes, a certified health coach and educator. Both are also certified Optavia coaches who are passionate about helping people create sustainable, healthy lifestyles. So, Kate, I will hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Beth. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. I'm Kate Carripio, and I am super excited to be here with you, with also my good friend and fellow coach, Susie Combest. So, as we move into the holidays, right, which can be equal parts joyful and hectic, we really want to help you find that balance. So, tonight, it's not about perfection or pressure, it's about using gratitude as a tool for calm, for health, and perspective. So, before we get started, I would love for you to drop one thing in the chat that you are grateful for today, big or small. It could be your morning coffee, it could be watching your dog's tail wag. Joanne, that's for you. Um, it could just be this quiet space here, right? That just gives you some time to breathe and reflect. Every ounce of gratitude counts. So write in what you're grateful for.
Yeah, I love that. My dog Henry, that's an excellent one. Family, of course. Family and friends, a chance to get out and hike today, hugs from Matt. I mean, those are all great things. I love seeing those come in. And gratitude can be as simple as noticing a warm blanket or a kind word. And tonight, we'll show you how those small moments can have a big impact on your health.
As we head into Thanksgiving week, it's natural to hear the word gratitude everywhere. But gratitude, it's not just a nice sentiment for a holiday card, right? It's one of the most science-backed tools that we have for better health. When we focus on gratitude, our bodies, it literally shifts gears. We move out of that fight or flight into the rest and restore. And that's where, our cortisol, which is our main stress hormone, it begins to drop, and our serotonin and our dopamine rise. They are the mood boosting, motivation building chemicals. So that's a good thing, right? Even when you pause for 30 seconds to notice what's around, what's good, right? That smell of coffee, something that I love, laughter around the table, or even, especially for you people up north or out west, when you have some warmth of sun coming in through the window, you're actually giving your nervous system a powerful reset. And that's not fluff, that's really biology.
Exactly. And research from UC Davis and Harvard shows that people who intentionally practice gratitude, they sleep better, they have stronger immune systems, and even report fewer aches and pains. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Yes.
Yeah. And gratitude is fascinating because it's both emotional and physical. When we feel thankful, our heart rate steadies, our blood pressure lowers, our brain releases calming neurotransmitters. It's kind of like a built-in relaxation signal we can turn on anytime.
And here's something that I love to share with clients. Gratitude, it's trainable. That may sound bizarre, but think of it like a muscle, right? The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And at first, it feels a little awkward. It's like forcing yourself to write with your non-dominant hand. Have you tried that? But with repetition, your brain, it actually starts scanning for positive automatically. So you begin to notice what's right instead of what's wrong. And that mindset shift, that builds emotional resilience, which is something that we all need in this season, which can be busy. And let's be honest, it's sometimes overwhelming.
Isn't that the truth, Kate? being so busy is sometimes overstimulating for people and can cause extra stress. I always remind people that gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the hard stuff. You can be grateful and stressed. You can be thankful and tired. You can be joyful and a little stretched thin. But gratitude isn't pretending everything's perfect. It's choosing to find one thing that's steady when everything else feels shaky. That perspective changes how we show up with our family, at work, and even how we talk to ourselves.
That's right. I love that, Susie. Let's try something right now. If you are watching live, type in the chat one thing that brought you a moment of gratitude today, big or small, right? So it could be your morning walk. Maybe it was that first sip of coffee. You guys may think that I have a little Java thing going on, but I do love that first sip of coffee. Maybe it's just having a little space, okay? When we speak gratitude out loud, we make it real. And that's what helps us anchor it in the present moment.
Yeah, I love that silence. That's a wonderful thing. Dinner being made for you, can't beat that. Hot tea on a cold morning. This webinar, hey, I love that. Traveling to see friends, that's awesome. So it's amazing just how acknowledging something simple can shift our mood instantly.
And, Susie, that's the power of gratitude, right? It's grounding. It helps us hold on to both the hard and the hopeful at the same time. So as we move into this next part of the webinar, we're going to look at how that same mindset, noticing, pausing, and appreciating, how that can really transform how we move through the holidays with calm, presence, and joy instead of the chaos and pressure. So let's talk about how gratitude actually changes the holiday experience. We've all been there, right? The to-do list is long, your schedule's packed, and you're running on caffeine, or at least me. It's easy to move through the season on autopilot. So just this past weekend, I had lunch and dinner scheduled with different people Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And as wonderful as it was, truly it was, I had to be super mindful to fit some me time in.
Exactly. I mean, we're doing 100 things, but we're missing the actual moments that matter the most. Gratitude and mindfulness help us slow down, breathe, and actually experience life as it's happening.
So, Susie, you are great at helping people reframe stress. What is one shift that you encourage clients to make this time of year?
I like to tell people to replace I have to with I get to. It sounds so simple, but when you get to say, I get to host my family instead of I have to host my family, or I get to see my friends instead of I have to see my friends, it really shifts everything. Suddenly, it's no longer an obligation, it's an opportunity, a blessing. And that small change in the language brings gratitude into the moment and completely transform your energy and outlook. It reminds you that what once felt like a burden is actually something many people would love to experience.
Mm,
So how
I
about
love
you,
it.
Kate? What's something you tell your clients?
So, this time of year, I really do ask clients to focus on one anchor, right? One healthy habit that keeps them steady. And maybe it's water, or maybe it's a walk, or maybe it's the protein first mindset, or even the 5-minute wind down, but not everything, right?
Yeah.
Because that could just add to the stress and the overload, but just one, right? And consistently with one habit that actually protects your energy, your mood, your stress levels, and really when everything else seems busy, it makes it easier. And,
Great.
you know, mindfulness, it's not complicated. It's just really paying attention. You can practice it while you're wrapping gifts. You can practice it while you're driving, and you can practice it even while you're cooking. One of my favorite tools is the pause and pivot. When you feel that tension rising, which we all do, to take that pause and take a slow breath. And then you can just pivot by naming one thing that you are grateful for in that moment.
Those are great tips. And gratitude really anchors you in the present. So here's a few little simple practices that are going to help you. Start your day with 3 things you're grateful for before doing anything else, like grabbing your phone or anything like that. It could be as simple as thinking about your good night's sleep or the sounds of the birds outside, or just write them down or say them out loud. It's a gentle way to kind of train your brain to look for the good before the day even begins. Another thing you can do is create a gratitude jar. So just keep a little jar in the kitchen, living room, and encourage everyone to drop a small little note daily. You might write, I'm thankful for game night, or I'm grateful my spouse made my favorite dinner. And then when New Year's Day comes along, open that jar up together and read all the moments that made the year special. That's such a great ritual that builds connection and appreciation for the family.
That's a fantastic
Yeah, I
one.
love that.
I like that.
And then the next one is to practice mindful eating. Instead of just going and eating on autopilot, take time, savor each little bite. Notice the flavors, the textures, even how the food makes you feel. And then try putting down your fork between bites, or just eating without distractions, not watching TV. Just do that for 1 meal a day. And it's really going to help you enjoy your food more, and it leads to better digestion and satisfaction.
And here's the thing, don't forget movement as mindfulness, right? You can go for a gratitude walk, no phone, no podcast, just you, your breath, and your thoughts. And each step you can think of either someone or something that you appreciate. Now, I know we're all attached to our phones, or most of us are. I find myself saying, I need to bring it. What if there's an emergency? Which kind of cracks me up. I mean, what do we do before cell phones? But I get it. But maybe, you bring it, but make a commitment to yourself that you're going to put it in your pocket and you're only going to use it for an emergency.
That's a great idea. Actually, I love that. Okay, and you can even make that a family thing. When you're walking after dinner on Thanksgiving, we do this every year. After we eat and clean up the kitchen, the whole family gets together, and as we're walking and talking, you can have everyone name just one thing they loved about the day. It shifts the focus from what went wrong to what went right. Because with everything being so busy, something small is going to happen. And that's okay. But just talk and laugh about it. This makes some of the best stories later on in life. Okay, Kate, here we go. Here's a real life scenario. It is December 26th, the day before Thanksgiving.
So
And you,
November 26th?
November 26th, the day before
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
I thought you said December. I'm like,
Oh, well, then
wait.
you already missed it. It's already too late for you. Okay, so you told me you were making cauliflower mashed potatoes. Now,
That's
Ed
right.
wants you to make some kind of sweet potato dish. And your mother-in-law, well, she has her own ideas. But as you're trying to pull all of this together, Ed and your mother-in-law appear to be annoying each other. What's your first move?
I think you've been a fly on my wall. That's a pretty familiar one, right? Well, my first move to do that pause, which I had mentioned earlier, to literally stop what I'm doing, take that deep breath, and remind myself that, okay, everything doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. But, truly that stop and pause, it really means everything in this situation. I'm getting a lot of practice. I pretend that they're children, and typically I laugh and I tell them to play nice, or I'm going to give them a timeout. I mean, they love each other, but one's 92 and the other one is battling a serious illness. And it gets easy to get worked up over little things like a repetitive question. So, thing is to really try to start small and just focus on one thing at a time.
Wow, it does kind of sound like you've been getting a lot of practice with this type of situation. But that's a great solution. Everyone needs to remember that. That's a great thing. So the holidays don't need perfection, like we just said. They need presence. It's not about the picture perfect turkey or the flawless meal. It's about the laughter, the people, the memories, and the moments we actually get to share together. So if your turkey's a little dry or you ran out of stuffing, that's okay. It's real life. I mean, gratitude helps us slow down and appreciate what's right in front of us. It reminds us that joy isn't found in everything going perfectly, but in being fully present with the people we love and soaking up the moment for what it is, not what we think it should be.
Right. So before we move on to the next piece, I would love to hear from you. What's one tradition or activity or movement that fills your heart with gratitude? And let's put that in the chat. One tradition, activity, or moment, or
I know,
movement.
yeah, I know something I love to do is baking. I used to love to bake with my mom. That was my time for me and her to be together and her to share her little secret tips with me. And
Good.
that was awesome. So that was my time. But you can, bake. How about the smell of stuffing? Doesn't get much better than that. Or the sounds of football, maybe on the TV, or even the family outside playing a football game together and running with friends. That's awesome. I mean, there's so many things. Gratitude is just everywhere once you start looking for it.
Right? It's amazing how that works. All right. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's on all of our minds next week. Next Thursday, Thanksgiving, right? It's one of my favorite holidays, food, family, traditions, but can also be one of the most challenging when it comes to staying healthy, right? Between the rich meals, endless desserts, and a schedule that's anything but normal, it's easy to walk away from the day feeling stuffed, stressed, or sluggish. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. You can enjoy every bite and still feel good, but it does take some intention and a few strategies that really work in real life.
That's so true. And Thanksgiving is a celebration, not a test of willpower. The goal isn't restriction, it's intention.
Hmm?
So here's a little something that can help, a simple plate approach. So you go get your plate. You've got half your plate. You're going to put all these little colorful veggies. You're going to put Brussels sprouts. You're going to put broccoli casserole, carrots, cauliflower, salad. So that's half your plate. Then up here on the other corner, top corner of your plate, you're going to put a lean protein. Turkey, your chicken, your beans, whatever your family happens to have. Then down here on this other corner, that's going to be your favorite side items. The mashed potatoes, the stuffing, the mac and cheese. Whatever makes the meal feel like home.
Right. But here's the thing. It's it's a plate. It's not a heaping plate. It's a plate, okay? Because this is what we're not doing. The one of my favorite things is it's the one plate rule. So you build this beautiful balanced plate that Susie just shared, right? And then you sit down and you truly enjoy it. Eat slowly. Put your fork down and talk between bites. If you've never tried it, it's a very interesting experience. Let your body catch up to your appetite. Seriously, when you are putting that food on your plate and you're thinking about making that big heaping pile, tell yourself, I can go back if I'm still hungry. Okay. But here's the thing. If you follow these simple suggestions, most likely you're not going to be hungry.
Exactly. And then for dessert, here's the 3-bite rule. This is one of my all-time favorites, and I use it
Mm.
all the time and so many things. So I don't want to go totally without something and just sit there drooling over Aunt Shirley's dessert or something like that. So I'm going to go choose my favorite treat. Maybe it's a pumpkin pie, maybe it's a pecan pie, or the pumpkin roll. So there you go. The first bite, that's where you taste it. The second one, that's where you get to enjoy it. And the third is to appreciate it. After that, your brain's excitement starts to taper off, and you've already had the best part. So there's no need to keep eating all those empty calories.
And that's a fascinating experiment. So we highly encourage that you try that. But here's the thing, if you still feel that you want more, we suggest just wait 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. And then if you still really want it, go for another small bite. No guilt and no regret. Because really, this is about gratitude, not deprivation. And what you most likely are going to find is that you don't need any more.
Absolutely, that is so true. And please, don't skip meals before the big feast. It might seem smart to save up your calories, but it almost always backfires. When you show up to dinner starving, your blood sugar is already low, your cravings are high, and it's much harder to make smart choices. So you end up overeating and feeling uncomfortable afterwards. Instead, start your day with a rich protein breakfast and a balanced lunch that includes maybe some healthy fats, some fiber, and that's going to keep your blood sugar steady, your energy up, and helps you enjoy the holiday meal without the guilt and that big crash. Remember, food isn't something you earn, it's something to celebrate and to nourish you.
That's right. So now we're going to talk about four things, just highlight: rest, hydrate, move, and simplify. So here's the thing. Sleep is your secret weapon. It is your body's night shift crew. It's repairing, it's balancing hormones, and it's cleaning up the inflammation. A few nights of poor sleep can raise your cortisol. It can increase your cravings, especially for sugar. So this week, protect your rest. Go to bed within 30 minutes of your normal time, even during the holidays.
Yes, and watch out for that caffeine after 2 p.m. Maybe switch to decaf or herbal tea. My favorite is ginger or chamomile, and they both support good digestion and calm your body.
Which is super fantastic. The next up is your hydration. It's simple but powerful. So start your day with water before coffee. Alternate beverages during dinner and include hydrating foods like fruit, cucumbers, soups. One thing that you may want to do is make a festive mocktail, some sparkling water with cranberry and lime. Hydration, it actually keeps your energy and your digestion steady.
Perfect. And don't forget that movement. The holidays can make it easy to stay curled up on the couch all day long, but your body thrives when you keep it moving. Take a walk after dinner with the family, or dance in the kitchen while you cook. You can even do some stretching before bed to release the day's tension. Even jumping up and down cheering for your favorite sports team, that totally counts. Movement doesn't have to be a workout to make a difference. The key is to stay active in ways that feel joyful. Movement isn't punishment for what you ate, it's gratitude in action. A way of saying, hey, thanks, body, for all you do for me. When you move with that mindset, it shifts everything from obligation to celebration.
And I love that it counts to cheer for the Eagles. Go birds, fly.
Go birds.
Anyway, lastly, for this, give yourself that permission to simplify. You can buy a dessert instead of baking it if you know that you're going to nibble your way through it. You can use paper plates if it means less cleanup. You can ask your guests to bring a dish. Simplifying doesn't make you lazy. It helps keep you present.
And that's really the heart of it all, isn't it? I mean, gratitude grows when we slow down enough to actually feel a moment, to notice the laughter, the smells, the people around us, and the small, beautiful things we so often rush past. When we stop operating survival mode and start paying attention to what's good right now, everything shifts. We stop chasing that perfect experience and start appreciating the one we're already in. And that's where true joy lives. Not in having more, but in being fully present for what we already have.
That's exactly right. So let's zoom out one last time, okay? Gratitude doesn't just feel good, it does good. It lowers your body's inflammation, it boosts your immunity, it helps regulate your nervous system. So when you express gratitude, your body releases endorphins and oxytocin, which are the natural feel good hormones. These help relax your blood vessels, they support your heart health, and they even improve your digestion.
Yeah, gratitude is like a vitamin for your mind and body. The more consistently you take it, the stronger your resilience becomes. People who practice gratitude regularly show lower stress levels, they sleep better, and have stronger relationships. It's contagious in the best possible way.
Which is so important and fun. But here's the cool part. Gratitude actually changes your brain, which is amazing. Studies show it strengthens that prefrontal cortex. And this is the part that helps with our decision making and our patience, two things that we need. So every time that you pause to give thanks, you're literally training your brain to handle stress better.
That's amazing. And as we head into Thanksgiving, try this. At dinner, everyone share one thing they're thankful for. And here's the important part, ask why. The why is so important. It deepens the moment and makes the gratitude stick.
And you know, Susie, one of the things that I love about this, that you can't feel fear and anger or stress in that same moment when you're feeling gratitude. It's like a mental reset button that you can press at any time. Remember, that was easy. That was easy. Think
I
Staples,
love it.
right? So before we close, we always like to leave you with something that you can do this week, your coach's corner. So Susie, what's one gratitude habit that you are focusing on right now?
Lately, I've been kind of practicing gratitude by reminding myself of one thing that actually went right each day. Even if the really stressful days, it makes a
Uh,
difference.
it does. It does. I love that. Mine has been the gratitude pause, right? Before I check my phone, I try to name three things that I'm grateful for. And one of them, I'm working on trying to make it about myself. So, gratitude, it's not just outward, but it's inward too.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. And remember, gratitude strengthens every part of our lives all year long. It's not just at Thanksgiving time.
That's right. So as we close tonight, let's bring everything full circle. Gratitude doesn't just shape how we feel, it shapes how we live. And as we head into Thanksgiving week, we have the perfect opportunity to practice it. We're inviting you to join us in a simple 3-day challenge. So, day one, write down three things you're grateful for, including one small or ordinary thing that you usually overlook. And that day one could be anything for you. It could be tomorrow, could be Monday, leading up to Thanksgiving. Day two, express gratitude out loud. Text, call, tell someone that you appreciate them and why. And then day three, reflect inward. End your day with one thing that you're grateful for about yourself.
Yeah, and if you're celebrating with others, make it a family thing. Ask
Mm,
everyone around the table to share what they're thankful for and the why. And remember, make that gratitude jar and fill it out through the rest of the year.
and I'm looking forward to doing that and celebrating on January 1st. But gratitude changes homes, not just hearts. It shifts energy, it builds the connections, and it helps us see the good, even on the hard days.
Right. So as you head into this week, let gratitude guide you in the kitchen, in the car, around the table, and in those quiet moments before bed. Notice the small blessings and give yourself grace. Let your heart expand a little. So, we're going to be sending out a follow up email in the next day or two with a recording and your special 7-day gratitude journal.
That's right. And mark your calendars. So our next and final wellness webinar of the year, which is really crazy to say, it's on Thursday, December 11th at 8 p.m. It's called Holiday Harmony, Managing Health and Stress During the Festivities. So we're going to talk about some practical ways to protect your peace, to find balance, and finish the year strong.
So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Whether this is the first seminar you've been to all year or you've been here all year with us, we are truly grateful for you and your energy, your curiosity, and your openness. That's what makes this community special.
That's right. So from both of us, we wish you a Thanksgiving that's filled with gratitude, connection, and peace. So take care of yourself, enjoy the moments that matter, and remember, small habits done with intention create big change over time. Looking forward to seeing you next month.